more scores and upsets. The Bellacino's Player of the Week, Brandon Lester, will stop by. Coach Craig Plymal from Grundy will pay us a visit tonight. Big talk, strong schedule versus weak schedule. What are the pros and cons of each? The top 5, find out who dropped out, who jumped in. Grundy versus Homemakers, our Freedom Wireless Game of the Week. Stump the Crig, all this and more tonight on After the Whistle. Gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 After Whistle. How's everybody's weekend go?
Good, good.
All I can say is...
Hey, man.
They're howling on top of the ridge.
Rose Ridge, boys, is howling.
Did you stop over at the Comptons and get that cream this week?
No, it was too crowded, boys. You couldn't get in there. You had to turn around.
Wolf Cream.
Wolf Cream.
We need to send him a bill for that plug.
Yeah, $25, Ronnie.
All right. Well, let's get things started out here. We're going to talk a lot. We got Grundy Homemakers, our Freedom Wireless Game of the Week. We've got Brandon Lester from Twin Valley. He had a great game last week. He's going to be with us this evening. And Coach Craig Plymal from Grundy is also going to pay us a visit. But first, as always, we want to do our little mentions here, and we'd like to thank our sponsors. Freedom Wireless, Bellacino's Pizza and Grinders, Grundy Auto Sales, Hurley IGA, Hurley Pharmacy, Express Print Pack and Ship, Hurley Community Pharmacy, CarQuest Auto Parts, Wooden Horse Grill, Buchanan Pharmacy Associates, Plaza Economy Drug coming soon to the Grundy Plaza, and Buchanan General Hospital and Buchanan Therapy Services as well. Appreciate all those sponsors and help make this show possible. All right, Coach Crig, let's take a look at last week's games and see how things went and talk about it a little bit.
All right, we got right off the bat, we have Christiansburg at Abingdon, guys. Me and Coach Moore went with the Bird. Don't know what we were thinking here. 21-0 Abingdon. Never had no trouble with Christiansburg.
I did go with Abingdon on that one, so you know, had to go with the local team on that, Coach Crig. So.
Well, I was just going by what George Krieger was saying last week when my cousin Hunter from Liberty played and said they looked pretty good. So Abingdon, that's a good win for them.
Abingdon continues to destroy the wine and cheese myth that was around for many years. They were a bunch of wine and cheesers. Those kids continue to win, do well.
I think it's because they got some Grundy kids over there.
Oh, that may have something to do
It's
with
what they, I mean, it's what the rumor is.
Yeah.
All right, next game, guys. Daniel Boone, Gate City. Well, enough said on that one. Ain't even gonna go there. Galax at Roll Retreat, guys. My old buddy Jamie Hughes, 42-0 Galax. Just boys, Galax. I feel like it's the real deal. Is what I'm hearing the talk up that way, but they always are in the past since Coach Dixon's there. They've been pretty good. Richlands at Blacksburg, I went with the big R, boys, missed this one. I didn't know Blacksburg had 17 Division I athletes on their team.
We told you before.
So, well, I didn't believe you. I thought y'all was lying.
I don't remember anybody telling me that.
Well, I don't know.
Well, they got, I don't know about 17, but they got a couple pretty good athletes on that.
No, they got 3, they said, that was real good. Said it was, when the scores kept coming in, I don't think Richlands, got going until the end, but said that Blacksburg's pretty daggone good.
Well, and this game here will come into one of our questions a little bit later on tonight. We talked about, we'll come back to this game probably.
All right, John Battle at Lebanon, guys. Lebanon's still struggling. John Battle 28, Lebanon nothing. Going to Y Central at Virginia High 41, Y Central 27. Looks like another pretty good game for Wise and them young freshmen.
Wise is actually getting better, man. I actually thought they played well. They dug themselves in a hole first. They was down 27-7 at the half. Come out after halftime and started throwing the ball around, and I think they brought it back within 34-27 with a minute and a half to go. So actually put up a good showing, man, and a lot of, like I said, they got a lot of young kids on both sides of the ball, and but it only gets tougher for them this week, man. They got Graham coming up, so they're gonna go through a lot of growing pains this year. But if they can withstand the storm, they'll be okay in the future.
Well,
interesting situation there is, down 27-0.
27-7.
27-7 and a half. They may have found a passing game they didn't know they had. So that, you know, could be a positive to taking out of that game there.
I think so. They throw the ball around pretty well.
Okay, as a dad, how'd he do?
No,
How'd little Junior do?
We got some work to do. We got some work to do, but he did all right.
All right, East Side at Lee, guys, looked like a good game there, 27-26. Lee come out on top there, and kind of surprised me a little bit the way East Side's been playing.
That's some interesting stats I picked up there. Jordan Rasnick from East Side, 302 yards and 3 touchdowns, 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and he had 71 yards rushing in a rushing score. And, you know, any other time that would probably equal Player of the Week.
Well, again, this comes back to what we're going to talk about later about scheduling and stuff. And Lee, they've been, I mean, they've played a couple decent teams and scrimmaged a couple decent, might have got them ready. I mean, but like I said, it was 27-26 and good ball game down at Lee County.
4 turnovers cost East Side probably the game.
East Side, and I think East Side is still one of the top teams in 1A. I think, what are they, 0-3 right now? But I think they're 0-3, but still yet, man, I was very impressed with them when I seen them play against Central and in a couple scrimmages. The quarterback, he's really impressive. So I look for them to be still a force in 1A come playoff time.
Yeah. Next game, Riverview at Hurley. Hurley 16, Riverview 6. Again, guys, talked with Coach Church, watched a little bit of it, and they get down there in the red zone, turn it over. Should have scored more than 16, but boys, you can't have penalties and you can't turn the ball over if you expect to win games the way you're supposed to win them.
Yeah, I think the score was actually closer than what the game was. I actually watched the game on film. They're making some long sustained drives. They're getting down there and shooting themselves in the foot with a fumble or a penalty, but the defense is still holding up and playing well. So
well, you said there, if the defense, I mean, they gave up a 52-yard touchdown pass, and if that don't happen, they held them to 70 yards of offense.
Yeah, like I said, the defense is holding up pretty well, and they're going to have to hold up to keep Hurley in some games right now, and I think that's what's going to keep them in it.
But like I told Coach Church, if he can come out and they have no penalties, they don't turn the ball over, they put 4 quarters together, they're going to beat somebody pretty good.
Right.
The key right now, the key to everything they're doing seems to be they're long sustained drives, eating up a lot of clock and playing really good defense. And you know, you run the wing tee, you're going to be in games like this right here.
You can't get behind.
You can't play behind.
You cannot get behind. That's right. All right, guys. Next game, Northwood at Twin Valley. Huge night for Brandon Lester. Twin Valley Panthers 52, Northwood 30. And it was a dose of Lester all night long. Got the word on.
Yeah, I was there. I called the game, and it was.
No wonder they won then if you referee.
No, I didn't appreciate it.
I mean, goodness gracious.
Every time we turn around, it was Brandon. They had a sluggish third quarter, but for the most part, Twin Valley pretty much held them in check the entire game. It was just. It was Brandon's show. I mean, it really was. He put on a really good performance.
Probably one of the best performances in a long time. And I mean,
38 points. I mean, responsible for 38 points.
That's pretty good.
That's 5 touchdowns. He ran.
How many 3-pointers is that?
4 2-point conversions, and he threw a touchdown pass on top of that. So I mean, you know, he had his hand in all the points that they put up.
They should let him catch one.
Yeah, they forgot to draw that one up.
I think they got it in the arsenal somewhere.
I don't know. I've seen.
But that was a great game. I was getting feedback on there, and like Coach Moore said, great win for Twin Valley. Next game we got.
Piggyback on that. Twin Valley 3-1 going in and playing Craig County this week. Potentially could be 4-1. You know, we don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, but potentially they could be 4-1, and that's pretty big.
That's good. Year. That's right. That's big time. That's big time. Well, you know, and I know. Boys, winning, it changes, it helps a whole lot. Absolutely. It helps a whole lot. All right, next, Holston at Castlewood, guys. Holston still rolling. I mean, that's a surprise to me. If there's a surprise on this year after seeing Holston early in a scrimmage, I was like, guys, that's the biggest surprise I have of them scoring 30-some points a game and winning some ball games. Castlewood still having trouble scoring. but hosting 32, Castlewood 6.
And we talked about Coach Patterson a little bit last week. I think he's doing an excellent job up there as far as getting those guys back to playing and where they have been and where they're coming to now, and just a tremendous job by him and getting the coach and playing good right now.
Absolutely. All right. Next game, guys, I was keeping up with this one with a buddy of mine texted me back forward. Thomas Walker at Rye Cove. Thomas Walker late 2 touchdowns to win 14-13. It was 13-0 all the way through almost to the end of the third quarter.
Rye Cove?
Rye Cove was up 13-0 almost the end of the third quarter, and I think they threw a touchdown pass there at the end of the third quarter to make it 13-7, and then Thomas Walker scores, I think, in the fourth to win 14-13.
I'll say it again. I keep saying it. Thomas Walker's going to win 7, 8 games this year, and they're going to be in the playoffs, and then get a pretty decent game. I think the first round.
It's a good win too by former Golden Lady
Nick Johnson still rolling. All right, Twin Springs at Patrick Henry. Coach Palmer and the Rebels had no problem with Twin Springs, but Twin Springs putting up a little points. Don't know if that come at the end or not, but Patrick Henry 52, Twin Springs 24. And Chilhowie and George Wythe.
That was a statement win, guys.
Yeah, I mean that's 39-0 and says go back home. It's our territory.
Who picked? Did you pick George Wythe?
Oh, I picked Chilhowie.
Okay,
I picked Chilhowie too.
Okay, I did too. I thought somebody.
But absolutely, Chilhowie destroyed George Wythe. And I'm like Coach Tester. They tried to prove a point here and say, hey, we're here.
Well, that was that revenge factor we was talking about from the year before last.
Right. George Wythe's no joke. I mean, they're a pretty good football team, so that was a pretty good deal right there.
And last but not least,
go ahead.
The Wolf Pack, baby, the Wolf Pack. And right here, before we talk about this game, I got Coach Tester some Ridgeview Kool-Aid, boys, and he's going to start drinking it right now.
I done stopped and got me some up there on the Ridge the other night, man.
Yeah.
So
Ridgeview Kool-Aid, guys, right here. Coach Tester is starting to drink it.
Well, at least we've been drinking.
We've been on the wagon. He's the one who knocked them off the #1 list.
No. I'd say it to be the man. You got to beat the man. Now they beat the man. You got to give Union their props, man.
Yeah, they did. I'll give you that.
Who has?
Hey, and this come from people from Union said Ridgeview should have beat them worse.
They should have.
Should have been worse. Said they turned the ball over 3 times. The game worked out so Ridgeview could win it. Everything happened. It helped Ridgeview.
Ridgeview totally dominated that game. There was 2 turnovers that Union scored off of. The early one, and I think they was up by 21-14 with 21-7.
They picked a fumble up in the end zone. Fell on one.
They threw an interception and he run it back to the 6 or 4. Then they scored. So really, besides those 2 plays, man, it's a good win for the Wolfpack.
Hey, go Pack! Go Pack!
Ridgeview 225-89 rushing advantage. Passing advantage, Ridgeview 145, Union 68. Ridgeview is the first team to beat Union in the regular season since Richlands did it in 2016. So he's drinking the
That's pretty good stuff right there.
Union overall had won 26 of their last 28 games. An interesting quote from Coach Travis Turner at the end of the game. He said, "It's a chance to kind of find out what we're made of. Our backs are against the wall now," and he spoke the truth. I still look for him. Probably run it out now, go 9-1. But
well, you got to look. They're going to have to play each other again. Like last year, Union undefeated. First round of playoff, they draw Richlands. Now, if that happens to Union, boys, what kind of look? I mean, you finish #1, home field advantage, and the Big R or Graham or somebody's coming into your territory. It's not easy in that Division II.
Absolutely not. All right, let's see what we're looking at here. All right, Big Talk segment, sponsored by the Wooden Horse Grill. Each week this time, the Wooden Horse Grill sponsors our Big Talk segment. Wooden Horse Grill located in Hurley, Virginia. It's open Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 9, open Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10. Wooden Horse Grill, home-cooked meals, smoked and grilled steaks, ribs, and more on weekends, and they are open late after ball games. Stop by and see those folks. All right, fellas, we got there Big talk for tonight is pros and cons of a strong and a weak schedule. Let's go right back to that game we was talking about, Richlands and Blacksburg. It's a good way to get started.
You take the schedule Richland's playing, you know, Blacksburg, Williamsburg. If they get into the playoffs, if they get in and they're healthy, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'd hate to have them that first round. And, you know, that schedule, playing that schedule, it can be good and bad. I think if they can survive it without the injuries, it's going to be great.
It's an old adage where you get battle tested before the playoffs start, and your team's better off because of it, but at the same time, it can backfire on them.
Well, a prime example was last year when Union #1, Richlands #4, Mitchell had to run a 60-some yard touchdown in the fourth or third quarter to put the game away, and they only won by 7. Well, that's just a bad draw right there. I mean,
if you're a 1 or 2 and you're drawing Richlands, you know, you're going. That's a pretty scary situation.
And they played Williamsburg this week. I mean, I don't know. I knew Williamsburg a couple years ago had a running back that was real good, but I mean,
did Mance make his schedule?
He's AD.
I don't know. He's AD. You got to give him credit for it.
But you know, it is what it is. And you know, the scheduling. If you're in a program, and you know you're struggling, you haven't had a lot of wins. Now you go play those schools the same size as you. And some people says, well, they ain't playing nobody. Well, you're playing the same school that has 280 kids, just like your school does.
That's right.
And then when you know you're going to have a pretty decent team, well, it's like Grundy playing Ridgeview first game. After that game, look, I mean, they're rolling and played Ridgeview pretty good.
But I don't know about scheduling a team 2,000 or 1,500.
I agree.
Now, you got 700.
I agree. Now that's true.
But if all right, that's when you have some pros and cons of a strong schedule. What about these schools that do these weak schedules? What about, you know, how do you look at that? I know, you know, what you and I are saying about this. I mean, we'll take a team that, you know, I'll use Gate City as an example. You know, they're 0-4 right now. Gate City would benefit from a weaker schedule right now because
to get
there's a lot
morale
of
back.
Yeah, to get the morale up. You know, the kids, you know, you get a win here, you get a win there. And having coached at smaller schools, all of us know this. That sometimes you pick up a game against an opponent specifically because you think you're going to grab a win.
How can you do this though? How can Hurley and Twin Valley get any? They can't get weaker. You know what I'm saying? Because we're at the lowest of the. You know,
we're playing the same amount of kids. That's right.
Only teams we can play is bigger schools.
That's right.
And you know, and it's not always about winning and losing. It's about safety. I mean, there's been games that we have played against opponents that going into the game, the number one concern wasn't win or lose. The number one concern was just get out of this game without getting somebody hurt.
Yeah, you have a lot of games like
that next cycle rolls around, you're thinking we got to get that team off the schedule before we get somebody killed. Right. And you know, so there's pros in that it can help build morale for your team. And
well, it's just like the colleges. When East Tennessee State went to Tennessee, no chance of winning, but they got paid what they get paid $100,000-$200,000 to go up there to play.
That's what we get each gate. It's on Friday night. That's what we get.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But you are doing good.
Yeah, we're doing real good. That's the case. But so it's pros, cons, plus, minus. How you look at it. You know, no matter how you cut it, I guess it can be good. Hopefully, the teams that are playing these tougher schedules will be able to get through it without having any serious injuries and be more battle tested come playoff time. And those teams maybe that are developing the program, they can get a few wins under their belt, and and that will bring those other kids out to those ball games. It's nothing like going and watching the Friday night game and the team's 4-1, 5-1, whatever. They got a good record.
Well, it's like the team that I had 2 years ago went undefeated, and we went to the second round, lost in the playoffs.
See how you slid that in there?
To Perry McClure. Anyway, a lot of comments about strength schedule. We need a tougher schedule, this and that. We got 3 double-A schools on the schedule. Everybody on the schedule had more enrollment than her. So how do you
Well, there you go. Everybody's already got a bigger enrollment. So what do you do? So it's one of those things. I guess people have debated for a long time. I've heard people say maybe try weaker schedule as you develop the program, and then start strengthening it as you go along. And that's a good possibility, I suppose. All right, folks. At this time, each week we have the Bellicinos. No, that's not Bellicinos music. We have the Bellicinos Player of the Week, and if you haven't been by Bellicinos in a while, you need to check it out. They have added 11 new big screen TVs, so come on down. Enjoy a pizza or grinder while you catch up and watch your favorite team on the big screen. Bellacino's will also be staying open until 10 p.m. on Friday, so after watching your favorite team swing on by, talk about the game, have some fun, enjoy some late night food with friends. Bellacino's would like to wish all the local teams good luck.
And the Wi-Fi is awesome down here, guys.
The
You need good Wi-Fi.
Is flat out awesome. How about that? All right, now Coach Tester, I'm going to turn it over to you for Player of the Week.
All right, guys, we had a couple guys over at Hurley, had some good games. We had Matthew Blankenship rushed for 130 yards. We had Taylor Justice, John Boy, Hurley, real good defensive games. Up at Twin Valley, we had a couple kids up there. You had Brandon Lester, which is our Bellacino's Player of the Week. He rushed for 195 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 2-point conversions, had 38 total points, and he even threw a touchdown pass. Not to mention on defense, he had 7 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 fumble recovery. So I think, guys, this guy here, he did a little bit of everything. He might have even drove the bus to the stadium for all I know. But anyway, we're going to have Brandon on the show with us here. Brandon, congratulations, man. Heck of a game.
Congratulations.
Let me get up here, Brandon. Congratulations.
I mean, you racked the Player of the Week up. You got, I seen one on the computer and everything.
All right, man. Hey, listen, just heck of a football game you had the other night. Talk a little bit about it. Tell us what went on.
We just installed a game plan, went out and tried to do exactly what Coach told us to do. Came out, our lineman was blocking just fine, opened up those, and we just took advantage of it.
Good deal, man. Great, great. I noticed that you have one guy that, wasn't playing. I know by your statistics here, it looks like you did a little bit of everything. Looks like you, what position was you playing? Is what I want to know. Was you playing quarterback, running back, or what?
Whatever Coach puts me in there.
Wild kitty, was
whatever
he
puts me in there.
He's the Wildcat.
Well, man, whatever you was doing, it was a great job, and I just want to congratulate you on it. We're just happy to present you with this Player of the Week. Coaches, you got anything?
I'd say one thing, congratulations, Brandon. I had the privilege of coaching Brandon last year, and I can attest to his work ethic, and he's a good kid. He's a good role model kid. He's going to do whatever you want. You can count on him 100% of the time to give you whatever, and he doesn't give you any mouth, he just does it. Very workmanlike, and that's the type of player I know as coaches we all enjoy having on the team. He was a leader when Tyler was down. He stepped up and he did a lot of good things. He, like I said, he passed, got through for a touchdown. Got Juice in on the action there. So Juice caught a touchdown pass. Connor Welch, give a shout out to Connor, caught his 2 passes in a row, his first touchdown pass.
Yeah. So
that was a big deal. And were you the one that threw it to Juice?
Yep.
All right.
Broken free.
Broken free there. So,
well, it shows you how much I know. When I was coaching, he was in 8th grade, I had him playing the line.
Yeah, he did.
I had him at a lineman.
Well, last year, I'll say this about Brandon, but last year probably would have been a 1,000-yard rusher, but he got a leg injury and wasn't able to, just had to basically miss 4 games because of it. So, this isn't something new for Brandon. I mean, maybe 38 points is new, but, putting up decent numbers is not a new thing for him. You guys have anything else?
No, congratulations. Great game, Brandon. One to remember, buddy. One to remember.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, folks. Let's see what we got here. All right, each week this time, Grundy Auto Sales sponsors our Coach's Corner. Are you in the market for a dependable used car or truck? Is your car or truck in need of a tune-up, round of tires, maybe even some repair work? If so, stop by and see the folks at Grundy Auto Sales. They have a wide selection of affordable and dependable vehicles, and that's very important. Whether it's a vehicle you're looking for, round of tires, or some repair work, Grundy Auto Sales has got you covered. So stop by and see Tim and Tammy Nichols, the owners there, and they would like to wish all the teams in the county best of luck. And they're praying that everybody has a safe season. That's Grundy Auto Sales. They are the sponsor of our Coach's Corner each week at this time. And this week, our Coach's Corner is Mr. Craig Plymal, Grundy High School football coach. And Coach Plymal, come on in. How you doing there, Coach?
I'm good, good. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you coming by.
Appreciate your show, Greg.
All right, Coach Plymal, you're sitting here. You was off last week, I think. What, you're 2-1 right now. We're getting ready to face Homeacre in a big district showdown. What's the game plan, and what do you got to do to get by Coach Hubbard and the Tigers?
Well, you know, kind of like Homeacre, we've had an extra week to prepare. They've had an extra week to prepare. So those films were exchanged 2 weeks ago. You know, they've got a wealth of experience over there from Coach Hubbard from top to bottom, and they seem to look like they got some kids in the right positions, and they're healthy, and they're covering every area. They're not making any mistakes. They're not making any turnovers. Penalty-free football, and seem to be well disciplined. I talked to Trevor a little bit last week about the film, and kind of like what I saw when they played a good Lebanon team, you know, on the road at that time with those two kids, and seems like things are going a little better in their way. You know, coming in here undefeated, and that Homeacre name comes just, you know, like you guys competing against me your whole life.
Right.
It always jumps out at you.
Right. Well, you know, with Coach Hubbard.
Coach, we'll take a break here just for a second. We'll be right back after this break. We'll have to get some batteries dying on me right here. Welcome back to the show here. We've got Coach Craig Plymal from Grundy High School with us. And Coach, we're talking to you a little bit about some things. And I'm going to turn it back over to Coach Tester. He's got a couple of questions for you.
We talked a little bit earlier about you guys and Homeacre both having an open week and getting ready for each other. But, you know, Coach Hubbard been in this game 34 years. You know they're always going to be well prepared. And no matter, you know, what their record shows, and actually they're 3-0 this year, but, you know, they have had better teams in the past, but, you know, they're always going to be ready. And, you know, how do you prepare your team, you know, to be ready for Coach Hubbard?
You know, we talk about that each day, you know, at the end of practice, you know, we're down to 5 minutes, and when that 5 minutes is up in that last drill, is Coach Hubbard going to let us put any time back on the clock? No. So let's get done what we got to get done right. And, you know, special teams wise, you know, they're always strong special teams wise, so you got to spend so much time on special teams. They're always going to give you that base look on defense, and you got to be prepared for the forward. And you turn around, you got to be prepared for a 5-man front, you know, a little split six thrown in there. And, you know, it takes your practice time up, and you got to plan well, especially for an experienced guy like that.
Well, they prepare extremely well. I mean, I coached over 4 years, and the detail that goes into preparation for games is very, very extensive. And so, like you said, they're going to be prepared, and which leads me to my question is, you know what they got their eyes set on. They're looking at Gabe Pfizer.
Well, I mean, each person sitting here knows that this thing, it's matchups. You know, our guy at receiver against their corner, and you know, if they're going to double and triple up on Gabe, you know, we got to be prepared for that. And yes, they are going to look at that, and we got to have some kids step up. You know, Derek's going to have to step up, and Sage Keen's going to have to step up, and you know, we're going to have an extra lineman step up, and you know, and in saying that, Homeacre's going to be doing the same thing. They're going to have some kids play and make some plays that, you know, you didn't really expect. You know, the Goody kids are good, the Casey kids are good. You got you know, Dye is going to be at the outside linebacker, 215 pounds, and you got to turn around and look at him in the eye back all night. Hubbard's at the slot back. You know, he's going to be running the counters. You know, they got it, and they're throwing the ball pretty good right now. So it's going to be a great test for our program.
I think this is a game that the role players on each side has got to step up and do some things, and that's where they're going to come into play at, you know, because like you said, they're going to focus on Gabe, taking Gabe out. You want to have an Endicott, Jakey, McCoy, some of those guys to step up, and I think it's going to be a game that they're going to have to do that maybe.
Yeah, I'd say it's two good ones to have a backup plan. If Gabe does somehow, some way, keep shutting down, because every coach has tried to shut him down so far. Yeah. But to have Derek to throw the ball to Jakey, I mean, they're open. Even against Ridgeview, there was some open passes. I mean, a couple drops early on, but they have their hands full. Like I said, he's been there. He's going to be ready. But you have some other sources than Gabe come Friday, and that might be the difference in the ball game.
I think you've got players that other people don't know anything about.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, everybody talking about it, you know, Gabe Pfizer. Derek's a heck of an athlete.
Derek, you know, he's actually done what we've asked. I didn't realize that we had thrown the ball 40 times in 3 games, and we have. I didn't realize, you know, we're getting that big touchdown pass a game, and we have. He has thrown 5 different receivers, and I didn't realize that until we sit down and started evaluating ourselves this week. And I think he's the difference maker, maybe with his legs also.
Right, I agree with that. You know, like we was talking earlier, if I'm game planning for you and game planning for Grundy, I'm gonna try my best to make somebody else beat me. It might not always turn out well. He still may beat me, you know, but I'm gonna try to make sure somebody besides Gabe beats me. And you know that's
a coaching philosophy.
Too,
You've got to sell that to those kids all week, and we kind of know that. We plan that, and you know he's a team player, and that's what makes it so easy.
Right.
And he's for everybody else, and it's like last year having him and Jacob together. I told McNutt, I said, you know, if Gabe's having a big night, that should be a bigger night for you.
Right.
So, you know, it's a team sport, and that's the reason it's so fun to coach. And when somebody steps up, and, you know, Sage King's sitting here with over 100 yards rushing, just plugging along on his, on his small tries a game.
Right.
Well, Honecker's going to have, you know, a lot of motivation. You look back in the past, this game always was Honecker, Hayside. Hayside left. Hurley stepped in, filled that spot for a while. Honecker's been down past couple of years. It's been Hurley, Grundy, and so I know Doug, you know, I don't know how many more years he plans on coaching, but I know this is an opportunity for that coaching staff and that program to say, hey, let's go back where we're supposed to be at the top. So this game is really big for that community over there. They're going to be, you know, really jacked up for it.
They have strength in numbers, a very good looking roster. You know, they got Jim Horns over there with his son at 283 at one of the tackles. The other kids was an all-district tackle last year, Zach Hess.
Right.
They've got the kids. They've got, you know, a lot of good looking athletes, and it's going to be a great challenge.
Jim Horn, boys. I ain't heard that name in a long time. Did you go to school with Jim?
I went all the way through school with him. Toughest cat I've ever met.
Lord,
Hands down. I think most people would agree with that. Yeah, I tell a few stories, but I don't think I can do that on the air. All right. Well, anybody have anything else for Coach Plymal? Other than good luck.
Thank you.
And
We
we
appreciate you guys. Keep up the work.
All right, Coach.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate you
Tom.
being with us.
Thank you.
All right, folks, it's the time, wait, it's not that time yet, excuse me.
Gosh,
It's
my
time to
rough
go.
weekend,
Rough
boys.
weekend, I
And he
tell you.
quit driving. You been in substitute bus driving this week?
No, I have not. It's time for our
What's
mentions.
going on?
We got to mention our sponsors here: Freedom Wireless, Bellacino's Pizza and Grinders, Grundy Auto Sales, Hurley IGA, Hurley Pharmacy, Express Print Pack and Ship, Hurley Community Pharmacy, CarQuest Auto Parts, Wooden Horse Grill, Buchanan Pharmacy Associates, Plaza Economy Drug, coming soon to Grundy Plaza, and Buchanan General Hospital and Buchanan Therapy Services. We'd like to thank them for sponsoring the show. Now it is the time that everybody waits for each week. Each week at this time, we attempt to reach deep into the mind of Coach Krieger and extrapolate some of the wisdom that he has. We're going to ask him 2 questions. These 2 questions have been hermetically sealed in an envelope. They have been sealed in a bank vault under guard for the last 24 hours and was just recently delivered in an armored truck by a man with a briefcase.
Have not been
attached to his
stumped
wrist.
yet, baby.
He has not been stumped yet, and we're going to open the question here in just a second and give them to him. And as we prepare to do this, Coach Krieger, are you ready?
I'm ready. Been
You are
ready.
ready.
Boys, it's easy.
Being ready, it's easy. It's easy stuff.
It's just like I took SAT 17 times.
All right, our first question is, when the first clock was made, how did they know what time it was?
Well, because he's the one who made it. It was whatever time it wanted to be. Easy. Like when you make something, you can call it whatever you want. See, the Army made their own time.
The Army made, but, so when the first guy invented the clock, how did he know what time it was?
Whatever he wanted it to be.
Whatever he wanted it to be was the time. So this could have been 2 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, but he said it was 4 at night.
Okay.
4 in the morning. 4 in the morning. 4 at night.
And you're
Fortnight.
sure?
Fortnight, boys.
Fortnight. You sure of this?
Yeah, final answer, boy. That's an
Final
easy
answer.
one, boy.
All right.
Easy.
All right, we're gonna have some fun with this one, I think. All right, our next question is. Let's
False.
see here. False. No. If you drop soap on the floor, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty? Which one?
Oh, that's easy. It's clean because I clean the floors at my house all the time. And when the soap hits the floor, it's clean. You can eat off of it.
So you dropped the soap before?
Yeah. I have dropped the soap.
Question.
I have dropped the soap, guys.
Well, folks,
Many a times.
Many a times he has dropped the soap.
And it didn't work out good for me, a couple of them.
All right, so you're saying the soap is clean, or the soap?
The floor is clean. When the soap hits the floor, it's clean. Ask my wife.
Okay.
I clean the floors at home, and when the soap hits it, it's over. It's clean.
It's clean. All right. Well, folks, once again, we have failed to stump the Crig. If you have any questions for the Crig, please feel free to submit them to us on our Facebook page, and that's at After the Whistle SWVA. You can submit it there to us. Make sure you send it in the form of a message. That way he can't see it or know what the question might be. All right, we're going to give a real quick update on our weekly poll. Last week we had a poll question that we asked, and we discussed it here in our big talk. Is it time for Buchanan County to consider consolidation? And we put it to the vote, and we had 285 votes, had a few comments. And at the end, the results were 57% of the people said yes, and 43% of the people said no. You guys want to comment on that?
Guys, it's got to happen, and people in the county know it's got to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. No-brainer.
No-brainer.
No-brainer.
You heard that?
Got to happen.
You heard that?
But I agree with some of
Athletics, academics, budget, it's gotta happen.
school. I mean, well, some of these schools. I mean, we went to Grundy, and that was 30 years ago, 20-some years ago. But
Yeah,
if
it
it, yeah, that's right.
was,
It was there.
Hey,
Same
Wait a
building.
minute, I've been out of school 30 years.
Yes.
I just realized that.
30 years. But guys, I agree. Go ahead and start building one. And here in 2-3 years, we'll go in it, and boys, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I mean, everybody's for it. The county has spoken. 57% yes, 43% no.
All right, you heard it, folks. All right. Let's see what we got here. Up next, we have our Dotson's IGA top 5. Stop by and check out Dotson's IGA Express in Hurley Square. Dotson's IGA is known for its fresh meat department. They take special orders and will even prepare it to suit your taste. Contact Dotson's IGA for the best steaks in town. They also sell a wide variety of trays. If you need a sandwich tray, meat tray, cheese tray, fruit tray, anything like that, they've got it. Also, let you know that they're starting to get some QVC pallet stuff in there, so it'd be a good time to stop by there as well and check it out. Possibly pick up some items, early gifts for Christmas, because Christmas is just right around the corner. It's Dotson's IGA Express. They're hometown proud. Dotson's IGA. All right. Let's see what we got here. We got the IGA top 5. Top 5. From the Mountain West, BDD, Hogo, Southwest District, Cumberland, and the Mountain 7. And Coach Tester's going to lead us into this one.
And guys, don't forget, over at Hurley at the IGA, there's one thing you can't do, and that's beat their meat.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, Coach Tester, what we got over here on top 5?
All right, top 5 and 1A at number 5 right now. We got John I. Burton Raiders and Jimbo Adams coming in at number 5. Number 4, we got the Grundy Golden Wave. At number 3, we got Patrick Henry and Mark Palmer's Rebels. And number 2 and 1 has not changed. Number 2 is Galax, and number 1 is Chilhowie.
All right, well, I can see that being a showdown here in just a few short weeks.
I'm going to go ahead and say Chilhowie and Galax is going to meet in the state semifinal again.
I agree.
They're going to meet again, and that's going to be a tough one.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to call that one yet. I'm going
Wait
to see how
and see.
things plays out. But
Well, I'm calling, like I said, guys, I said it to begin with, I think Grundy's going to go in at 10-2, play in the region finals against Chilhowie. That's what I've said from day one. I feel like that's how it's going to play out. And, you know, that's on paper. And like we say, it don't always work on paper.
Tom, you can't play.
That's why they play the games. That's why they play the games.
Well, you can play tic-tac-toe on paper.
Let's recap the 1A top 5. Number 5.
Well,
J.I.
oh man, we got. I thought you were still talking. My bad. We got number 5, J.I. Burton. Number 4, Grundy. Number 3, Patrick Henry. Number 2, Galax. And number 1, Chill Howie.
All right, Chill Howie's still atop our Dotson's IGA top 5. Let's go now and take a look at 2A and see what we've got. A little bit of shakeup at the top. We'll see what happens here in just a second.
Hold on, I'm gonna comment on this when we get to the top here for a second. All right, number 5, we got Virginia High coming in at number 5. Guys, I was really impressed with the athletes they put on the field. I watched them play Friday, and my God, they got some good-looking kids. They got some good-looking kids, and Wise took them down to the limit. So, but anyway, I still got Virginia High coming down to number 5. I got the Graham G men at number 4. And
Good job, Coach Palmers.
there you go.
Coach Palmer's.
And at number 3, we still got Richland standing strong. I know they're playing. They make it through that brutal schedule. They're still going to be a force to handle. And right now, we still got them at number 3.
That's nothing but respect for Richlands because we know what they got and what they're capable of. And they lost this past week, but look at what they lost to.
Exactly. At number 2, I got Coach Turner's Union Bears.
Drink that Kool-Aid. Gargle it. Gargle it. Look there, boys.
At
Drink
number
it.
1, I got the Ridgeview Wolfpack.
Wolf Crig!
Drinking
But guys, just for the record, Cricker wasn't going with Ridgeview.
Yes, I was.
No, let me tell you, he wasn't going with Ridgeview until he seen the coaches bring the mask over. He wanted to put that mask
Hey,
on.
no, you called Todd Taylor and Big E. I got the mask delivered. I called on Monday, guys. You all Ridgeview people know. You all know I called. Asked Mr. Owens, principal down at Riverview. Asked Ethan Owens and asked Todd. I had that mask coming since Monday.
It was going to be 2-1. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's
Since
okay.
Monday.
Okay.
Well, the one thing that has remained consistent is I've been on the Ridgeview.
I've been on the
since day
Ridgeview.
one.
Well, I'm on it too.
Go watch the show from day one. I've been on the Ridgeview. I've been gargling it, brushing my teeth in it, swimming in it. So, guys, don't
All right,
hate.
Hey,
Ain't nobody hating.
props to those guys. You know, they went over there and they pretty much dominated that game. So let's recap the 2A top 5. Dotson's IGA top 5. 2A, number 5.
Virginia High, number 5. Number 4, Graham. Number 3, Richlands. Number 2, Union. And number 1, the Wolfpack over Ridgeview.
All right. All right, not easy sometimes to
Be right.
well, it's easy being right. It's hard
That's
to be
the other
wrong.
games we picked, man. What was some other 2?
They ain't one game or
no.
I didn't know Blacksburg had 24 Division I football players.
All right, let's see here. This week's games. We got a bunch of games coming up. Coach Crig, we're going to let you run those things down for us. A lot of big games. There's some tight games this week.
Some good games this week. Starting out, Hidden Valley at Abingdon, guys. Abingdon beating a good Christiansburg team. Hidden Valley making the trip down 81 to Abingdon. I'm going to go with the Falcons.
You better.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Falcon Nation.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I mean, Falcon awesome, baby. Falcon awesome.
Okay.
I'm going with the the Abingdon Falcons.
I'm going with Abingdon as well.
I'll go with Atlanta too. I'm gonna go with Abingdon.
All right, next.
All right, next game, Patrick Henry at John Battle. Big game for Coach Palmer and the Patrick Henry Rebels. But you know what, guys? I'm going to lean and I'm going to go with John Battle. Been playing some pretty good ball. Might give Coach Palmer his first loss if I'm not mistaken, but it won't be a bad loss. I mean, you got to. I mean, John Battle there, double A.
It's at Battle.
And it's at Battle. Battle playing good ball, but you know. John Battle, I'm going to go with John Battle, guys.
I'm going to take PH. I think Coach Palmer and the boys keep on rolling.
I think I'm going to agree with the Crig on this one. I'm going to go with Battle.
Smart
I think
man.
it's going to be a tough one to go into John Battle. John Battle's playing really well right now, and I think it's going to be tough for them to go in and win. So I'm going to go with John Battle Trojans.
All right, next game, guys. The Palmers at Wise Central. We got Graham at Wise Central. And you've got Central, Young. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to go with Dennis the Snake Palmer again, beating Wise. But
Come on, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. What is it?
well, Graham,
All right.
I mean,
Have you
Nobody
stumped
heard
him
about
yet?
that.
Have you stumped him yet?
Oh,
You
yeah.
hurt nobody's
Yeah,
feelings?
we got Graham. I'll take Graham as well. I think if Graham just got too many horses for him right now. I do think it's going to be an interesting game. And
no, it's not.
I do think I expect Central to maybe step up and play for a good half or maybe even 3/4 with them.
Well, I hope Central comes out and plays well, but honestly, my heart's with Central, but I don't think they got the horses to play with the
No.
G-men.
And it's nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
It's just
Graham stuff, and it's going to be a tough one for Wise Central Friday night, so I'm going with the G-men.
All right, we got it running.
all right. We got Union at Gate City Union.
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 All right.
Hey, boys, I believe I'm going.
Yeah.
Let me.
Sorry, Gate City. We'll talk about you a little more. Get that dub first.
I'll take Union.
All right. Ridgeview at Lee. Ridgeview big again. I'm sure. Coach Tasher, do you want to go with Lee on this one?
Man, come on.
He's only had one. He's only had one bottle of Kool-Aid. So
All right,
he
yeah,
has to
so I had to ask you
Ridgeview.
twice.
Ridgeview.
All right, Richlands at William Byrd. I'm still with the big R, guys. I'm saying Richlands going to travel with 81 and they're going to win.
Mance ain't going to get
win
mad
this.
at you if you pick them, man.
Coach Mance, I'm with you guys. Coach Davis, Ronnie,
You gonna
I'm
ride
with
the bus
you
up?
all.
You gonna ride
I
the
will
bus up
ride
with
with
him?
you guys. You all will. I mean, just hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Nobody has your schedule.
I'll take William Byrd. Yep.
Yeah, nobody has their schedule, but I'm still going to take William Byrd to win.
Hey,
Man.
prove them wrong, guys. Hey, Ridgeview did last week. All right, Bluefield at Tazewell. Bluefield, guys, big. I mean, nothing. Tazewell playing decent ball, but it's Bluefield.
Yeah, I think Bluefield's just way, too good. Tassel too young. I'll take Bluefield.
Next game, Craig County at Twin Valley. Craig County has not won a ball game in 31 games. Make that 32.
I'll go with that.
Make that 32. Twin Valley big Friday over Craig County.
I'll go with Twin Valley big as well. I think hopefully Brandon, everybody's healthy and ready to roll Friday. Twin Valley big.
Twin Valley. It'll be
Twin Valley
4-1.
across the board. Hurley at Montcalm. Big Dad, old roommate, wins big at Montcalm, and that's getting 4 touchdowns called back.
I can see that happen.
No, you can't see it because every time you go over, you get thrown out.
Well, hopefully Coach Church won't get thrown out. I'm going to take Hurley by 4.
4 points.
4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns.
I'm going to take Hurley by about 4 also, but I'm like Krieger. I bet they have 2 or 3 called back.
Well, you guarantee you all played over there. I mean, it is what it is. Twin Springs at John I. Burton. I'm going with Jimbo Adams and the Raiders. They win big.
Jimbo as well. I'll go with the Raiders on this one.
J.I. Burton.
Rye Cove at Castlewood. I'm going with the Cove. I'm going with the Cove. They're playing good ball right now. Almost beat a good team in Thomas Walker. I'm going with Cheyenne and Coach Housewright.
3 weeks ago, I'd been all over the Castlewood on this one, but I agree with Coach Krieger. I'm going to go with Rye Cove. I think something's happening over there. I don't know what it is, but it's good. It's
happening.
good.
That's
Yeah.
I agree. I'm going with the Cove on this one also.
That was big game. East side at Thomas Walker. I'm still going with Thomas Walker and Nick Johnson. They're winning the close games and they're winning the big games like they're supposed to win. They're beating people the way they're supposed to beat, and then they were in a close game and they come back down by 2 scores and they won the game. I'm going with Thomas Walker.
This could be a really good game right here. I think there's a lot of potential, but I'm going to pick East Side based on the numbers from last week that those guys put up.
And go ahead.
Man, you going to let
Go
me pick or what,
Well,
man? Come on.
I'm getting the finger over here, so I'm getting the.
But anyway, I like what Nick Johnson and Thomas Walker's been doing over there, but I think I've seen both teams in the scrimmage. You can't go on scrimmage games, but I'm really impressed with the offensive side of the ball with East Side, and I don't know if Thomas Walker can stop them. I think I'm gonna go with East Side on this one.
It is
East Side.
All right, and the game of the week, Homeacre Tigers at the Nelson Memorial Field, Grundy Golden Wave. And guys, I know that
You need to be a replacement for your brother. You need to be a replacement for your brother on the radio. If he gets sick,
negative. That's live. I don't go live. I don't go live.
but you'd be a good fill-in.
All right. It's time for our Freedom Wireless Game of the Week. Imagine a man falling helplessly through the sky. Now imagine that man lands on top of your house. That man's probably a lot like your cell phone bill. He is through the roof. Now we don't fix roofs, but we do repair cell phones. And we've got some pretty cheap cell phone plans at Freedom Wireless. So stop by and check them out. The Anchorage Shopping Center, Van Center, give them a call, 276-244-1407. Freedom Wireless. All right, Freedom Wireless Game of the Week is Grundy Homeacre. Chime in there, Coach Crig. I'm going to start with you.
Well, you've got Coach Hubbard, Coach Coleman, Trevor, and all them over there. They're going to be prepared for this game. They're going to be ready. But I just think that Grundy and Gabe, and they just have a lot of weapons over there. And I'm just going with Grundy to win this ball game Friday, and Grundy keeps rolling.
I agree. I think, Homeacre will be well prepared. I think Grundy just got better athletes than they got right now. And I know their plan will be to stop Gabe Pfizer. I still don't know if they can do it. But, Grundy's got a few more weapons than they got, and I look for Grundy to roll this.
I'm going to kind of torn back and forth with you guys on this, but I'm nothing against Grundy. I think they've got I do think they've got some really good athletes. I know this game is what it means, that bunch over at Homeacre. Got a lot of good friends there. Got a lot of good friends over at Hurley. This is how you kind of segue yourself into not picking the home team, I guess, or the local team. I'm going to give Homeacre the nod on this one. I think they're going to have a few things up their sleeve. It's all going to come down to one thing. If they can, Wilbur Johnson and that defense can do something with Gabe Pfizer, and if they can hold them in check, I think Homeacre's going to make a game out of it. And nothing against Grundy. I think it's going to be a good test for Grundy.
What do you think is a good number to hold Gabe to? 100, 150?
I'll say 150.
322, 308.
I'll say 150.
If they hold him to 150, I like their chances.
I think I'm going to go with Homeacre. I'm going to go with this, and but we're going to do that. I want to give a shout out to my main man Jelly. Everybody knows Jelly, and all those guys over there, but want to give them a shout out. So I'm going to go with Homeacre. So we got 2 for Grundy, 1 for Homeacre. Anything else before we wrap up?
No, just a good group of games, guys. I said they're going to be some good football play. Go out and support your local team, or go out and see
Stop by and get you some
game.
of
And
that
stop by and get you.
Kool-Aid.
Hey, stop by here and get you some of that Ridgeview pizza and that Ridgeview Kool-Aid. That we're mixing the Kool-Aid with the dough here at Bellacino's.
All right, tell everybody, our listeners, how can you catch the show? Each Friday during football season, you can listen to the show on 100.7 WMJD out of Grundy from 6 till 7. You can also catch it on our YouTube channel, which is always up, and you can also catch it on our Facebook page. And we are now, our podcast is available at After the Whistle, Southwest Virginia, After the Whistle, SWVA.podmatic.com. That's After the Whistle, SWVA.podmatic.com. You can catch and download all of the shows there. So you can listen to the show on your way down the road or on your way to the game. And
hey guys, also go to our website, and on the game of the week, Homeacre at Grundy, predict the score on there. And whoever predicts the score right, we'll throw in a free pizza and a free phone case from Bellacino's and a free piece of bubble gum at the gumball machine at Bellacino's. That's the only thing I got to give you guys. Hey, and if it's a tie, if you all pick the same score, it's going to be the first one that gets on there that picks it right in the message call or on a post. So
we'll put that up. We've got a post on there right now. We got just a couple of minutes left. We got a post on there right now on our page. People go on there and chime in. It's a question for next week we're going to be talking about. We want to know if you know. Chime in on our Facebook page and let us know what some of the most interesting traditions or customs that maybe your high school has, or what they do with your football program that's been going on for a long time. Share those things with us on there, and we'll mention them next week on the show. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the traditions and customs. You know, we don't know. Every school has their own little thing that they do different. And we'd like to find out a little bit about that. So please chime in on that, and we'll share some of those things with our listeners next week. I think that's everything I've got. You guys got anything else? All right. Until next time. Coach Dusty, Coach Moore,
Coach Crig.
Practice is officially over.